In this video, I'd like to show you the process I went through in developing some products I could sell online. One of the first products I developed was my woodworking book called How to Build Anything with 3 Tools, 3 Boards, 3 Steps. Now this came as a result of some fairly in-depth research I did into the woodworking plans market, looking for some opportunities that maybe my competitors had overlooked. And as it turned out, there were in fact a number of different opportunities for me to enter that market. But of course, with any product, it all starts by first recognizing a demand. And one of the easiest and fastest ways for me to confirm that one way or another is to simply head to a search engine and see if anyone else is interested in that topic. Now, I realize that interest alone doesn't indicate whether a niche is profitable or not, so another quick and easy check is to see if advertisers are spending money to have ads appear for a particular keyword search. This alone can tell me in just a matter of seconds if a product idea is worth pursuing or not. In the beginning, I also like to do keyword research just to see how many people are going online each day to find products similar to what I want to develop, and also to see if people are using words that I hadn't thought of to describe those products. Once I'm convinced that there is in fact a demand for a product, my next step is to take a closer look at who my competitors will be in that marketplace. Again, a search engine is a perfect tool for doing that. So what I was able to conclude about the woodworking plans market is that my competitors were divided into two separate camps. We have the more contemporary publications from companies like Fine Woodworking, Meredith Publishing, August Home Publishing. And then we also have a lot of remnants from the 1960s and 70s that are still being sold today. Now, the contemporary publications have the more modern look and feel that I think woodworkers like, but the instructions and plans are usually difficult and require some extensive woodworking skills. The vintage publications, on the other hand, have easier, more simple projects that are targeted to beginners, but the projects are outdated, and I just don't think the overall look and feel of the product is very appealing to customers. Now, this immediately told me that I might have a possible opportunity to enter into this marketplace with something that bridges the gap between these two extremes. And of course, that's exactly the strategy that Al Ries was talking about more than 30 years ago when he wrote Positioning, The Battle for Your Mind. It's not about convincing people that you have a better product. It's all about first finding an open category in the prospect's mind and then developing a product to fill that void. So the opportunity for me was twofold. Provide project plans that are easy to build but with a contemporary look and feel, and also provide some basic woodworking skills instruction that my competitors are ignoring. So at this point, I've recognized a demand for my product, I've identified who my competitors are, and I've discovered an opportunity to have a unique position in that marketplace. But the big question still remains, how am I going to reach that market? Now, I certainly don't want to use mass marketing. It's far too expensive and it's horribly inefficient. I also don't want to use direct marketing. It's also expensive and for the most part still horribly inefficient. So really the only viable option for me, considering the size of my operation, is to use an inbound marketing strategy, which of course is a very common strategy that most businesses use today. And for good reason. Seth Godin made it very clear back in 1999 that the old methods of interruption marketing are going to become less and less effective. And the best way to find customers in the future is to make sure your marketing message is anticipated, meaning that you talk to potential customers only after they've invited you to do so, and that the content of your message is personal and relevant to that particular customer's wants and needs. So with that in mind, the inbound marketing strategy I developed for my product has 3 parts. Finding customers through search engine optimization, building relationships with those customers with an email newsletter, and engaging with customers through social networks. Now, I have to say that my search engine strategy is only effective to a point. It's not a very good long-term strategy, and that's simply because Google can change the rules anytime they like and drastically affect a website's position within just a few hours. However, it was a very good place for me to start my marketing campaign, especially in building a list of potential customers for an email newsletter. Now, what I like best about the newsletter is that it gives me a chance to build my own community of woodworkers. And through that channel, I'm able to work on building my authority and brand recognition in the marketplace. Of course, I also use a lot of other common inbound marketing strategies, things like a blog, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest. And the best part is, I now have customers. So what's my next step? Well, I've been successful acquiring prospects, and I've been successful turning those prospects into customers. Now I have to think about how to keep those customers engaged with my products and my brand. Well, a lot of the same tools I use for acquiring my prospects can also be used to retain those customers. Of course, I can do that with my newsletter and my blog and my Facebook page and some of the other social media sites, but there are some other ways that have been really helpful in keeping me connected with customers. Sometimes I conduct online surveys, and it really couldn't be much easier than using a hosted service like SurveyMonkey.com. I also invite my customers to participate in special projects. For example, this year I started work on an anthology where I asked customers to submit stories to me about people who have made an important impact, both in maybe teaching them the craft of woodworking and just in making a difference in their lives. I also like to go where my customers go, and the easiest way to do that online is to visit the forums of my particular niche. So what kind of results do I get from all of this? Well, this kind of community building provides me the ideal platform for introducing and selling new products. For example, in addition to my books and plans, I've also created a variety of tools and accessories that help builders be more successful with their projects. So that's kind of a bird's eye view of how I like to research a market, extract the data, and then illustrate those numbers in graphs and charts that help me to quickly identify opportunities.